I noticed that there was a fellow designer posted a layout that he saw that has this very unique text effect at the very top, where it looks like the actual letters are encapsulated within a frame. And I saw some of the comments about how to do this, how to render this, and I thought they were pretty cool. So I thought I would put together a quick tutorial as to how you could do this exclusively in InDesign. Let's get started. What we're going to do is what we have right here is we have an InDesign document that has um, 5 individual text frames set in a row. I should say graphic frames set in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have one larger frame in the background, and that's just for effect. You'll see why in a moment. And then we have, of course, the text frame at the top, which has the word think set in there. So what we want to do is we're going to select the text frame. We're going to go up to Type, drop down to Create Outlines, so that it's no longer text, it is now an object. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to go up to, we have the word, or we have the object selected, go up to Object, drop down to Path, and then say Release Compound Path. So now they are all individual paths. Now, the eye is going to consist of 2 paths. So I want to select them both, and I'm going to group them, all right? So that when I select it, it'll select it as one thing, one object. So I'll start off with the T. I'll copy or cut that, tap on the first frame, graphic frame, and then I'll go to Edit, and I'll go Paste Into. So now I just put that T inside that frame, all right? Now I go to the H. I'm going to cut that, tap on that, and then I'm going to paste it inside there. Very good. Next up, I'm going to select that I, cut that. And remember, the I consists of 2 um, frames, all right, or 2 paths, if you will. Put that in there. All right, select the N, cut that, tap on that, paste it in. K, cut it, tap on the frame, and then paste it in. So now we have these objects, and remember they're objects now inside these frames, these larger frames. And why is that important? Well, it's very important because now, because these are objects, I can select them, the contents, and then I can scale them up. All right, by putting my finger on the Shift key, I can scale it up proportionately, and I can move them around inside the frames. I can even tilt them to the side. And if you notice, what I've just done is I've taken these objects and I'm pasting them and I put them inside these frames, and they have not, it's called non-destructive because I didn't cut anything. I didn't manipulate the actual letters. I could take them out of these frames and they'll still be whole. But in this particular instance, I can, since they're in a master frame, if you will, all right, I can do all kinds of things with them. All right, just I'm scaling everything up. Uh, I can make them, and it's going to look really good because they're vector based. So now I'll just do each one, just scale them up to show you how I move them around so you can just see how that could look. All right, and I'll scale this one up. Now, as far as the background is concerned and why I put that there, it's because if you notice, let's say this is something that we're going to print. We're going to have this thing professionally printed, and you're going to need to have a bleed. So let's say, for example, with the letters that are touching the actual edge of the page, we can tap on that frame and open that frame up to the bleed point. So now we can include the bleed as well. So we can come here. The H is fine. It's sitting within the page. The N is sitting within the page, but look at the K. The K has this element that's sticking outside of the trim. And then also the T, and I'll exaggerate this with the T a little bit more. I'll move this over, and then I'll open it up on the side. So now, because I have this situation where I've actually put these objects in an object, and then I had them in their own individual frames, I can open or close the frames as needed. I can scale and or rotate what's inside the frame as needed. And at any point in time, let's say, for example, if I wanted to tap on that H and I wanted to take it out of that frame, all right, I'm going to copy it so I can keep it in there, paste anywhere on the pasteboard, and just do a Command V, and there it is, non-destructive. In other words, the actual, we didn't compromise the shape of the type objects in order to create the final effect. And then I can preview this. All right, as you can see, it looks pretty cool in terms of what you're able to do with text and objects in InDesign. Hopefully that helps.